Hello and welcome back. My name is Mike, and today we have got a gentle practice. So, gentle is a relative term depending on your experience. So, I'm going to be offering all kinds of options today as we move through a variety of poses. Not a whole lot of getting up and down off the floor, just once up, once down. All right. Please equip yourself with any of the props that you think you might need. I encourage you to use a block and maybe a strap, and then have something handy to sit up on. And if you like to practice to music, you can scroll to the info below and find links to playlists that I have in Spotify and Apple Music. We're going to begin today's practice by lying back. Go ahead and make yourself comfortable and come into the space of your practice. Lie your body out long, unless that bothers your back, in which case bend your knees and let the knees tip in. Let's place our hands on our abdomen and take stock of how we are doing today. And I'd like you to start by just sort of walking through the bodies of your existence, starting with your physical body. Begin your practice by noticing how you are showing up on the mat today physically. And is that situation, how you're finding yourself, something that you would like to change or to continue? And then go ahead and step into your breathing body or your energy body and just sort of notice, take stock of how you feel energetically. What is the state of your breath? All of these things that move through the body. If you're feeling a little bit dull, perhaps you'd like to use your practice to add some fire or some life. If you're feeling a little scattered, maybe you want to choose to use your practice to bring yourself back to balance or a sense of centeredness. Whatever you find, go ahead and smooth your breath out. Good, smooth inhale, smooth exhale. And while we're here establishing a good one-to-one rhythm, our Samavriti breath, inhaling to about 60% of your total capacity, and the same with your exhale, and feeling this move almost like a wheel or a wave. Noticing either with your hands or just your internal awareness, that smoothness of the breath. And lastly, before we start to move, I'd like you to step into the body of your mind and notice what are the states of your thoughts, of your mind generally. Are you feeling like you have some desires that are holding on to you or some aversions? Anything that arrived with you on the mat here, see if you can just willfully let that go and maintain a sense of a safe space for your practice here on the mat. Good, so let's come back to our nice rhythmic and deep breath, and we're going to start moving with that as well. So we'll do a flowing bridge. Bring your feet in close to your hips and dig your shoulders in a little bit. When you inhale, you're going to bring your arms up overhead and lift the hips into bridge, and then exhale, coordinate so the hands come down and touch at the same time as the hips. Also, with the breath, inhale, hands, hips, and breath as one, lifting up, exhale, and drawing them back down. So bringing some life into the spine. And when you exhale, see if you can't also draw the navel in to add a little bit of traction so that the tailbone is the last thing down. Let's do one more. Always moving with your rhythm of breath. Don't have to be in sync with me. Good. And once those hips are down, let's move on. And keep your arms at your side. And let's just give a reverse bicycle. So just kind of warm up those legs with a good reverse through there. It's like you're kicking through. Imagine that you're on a bike and going in the opposite direction. All right. So you're turning on your abdomen here as well to keep those legs up. Nice. All right. So let's go ahead and put those feet down. And give yourself a full body stretch. Now go on end to end, reaching out through the hands, reaching out through the feet. And then I want you to roll onto your right side. Roll onto your right side completely. All right, from here, rest your head, bend your bottom leg, and you're going to take your top leg and exhale, kick that heel forward. And you're going to inhale and kick it back. All right, so you're going to feel a little bit of stabilization that needs to happen with your core and with that front hand. All right, every time you inhale, kick back and see if you can get a little bit bigger with this as we go too. All right, kind of making ourselves into what's next. When you kick back next, let's hold it back there. Take your arm, find the ankle back there, and this is sort of a half bow. It's a side lying half bow, which is a pose that we would usually do on our belly. All right, so don't be afraid to open up that shoulder back. Good. Let's go ahead and bring this back to normal. Roll to the other side. So you're going to go all the way to the other side. And we're going to do the same thing. So again, what we did was we exhaled and we kicked that heel forward. And we inhaled and we kicked it back. So try to get the biggest movement that you can. Or if you practice repeatedly, going for increased range of motion each time. All right, so that you're getting a good stretch on the hamstrings forward. Good stretch on the front of the hip as you go back. And I'll do one more. Kicking front. And the next time that you kick back, hold it back. Open your shoulder to reach back. And kick right there. Nice, so you're opening and feeling a little bit of that bow action through the back. Just a gentle amount. Okay, let's let that go. Roll back onto your back. And then hug your knees in. Chin into chest, and rock up to sitting. Okay, let's sit for a moment. And if sitting on the floor is not comfortable for you, please do take a blanket and sit up on it. We're here for just one thing. So I'd like you to inhale and exhale, just round down forward. So we're going to do some really round cat stretches. Inhale, come on up, and take those hands behind you. Lift your chest. All right, inhale up. And exhale, just bend forward. Good. Inhale up, and the hands come up and circle around back. And exhale, lift your heart. Inhale, come around front again. And exhale, lean forward. All right, inhale. So we're going to spend, some warm-up time. Exhale, lift your heart. And let's just hold there for a moment. Drop your shoulders, navel in, lift your heart. Feel that rising energy. We're going to spend a few moments here warming up still. And next, we'll move on to all fours. So, come on to a nice comfortable all fours. I'm going to turn this way. And hands are under your shoulders and knees are under your hips. And actually, I want to come into a child's pose. Come into all fours, except put your knees wide and your toes together, and we'll go into a child's pose, but I want you to walk into the right side of that. Walk into the right side, and then press through the hands. Lengthen that side of the body through the left. Feel that in the rib cage. Settle your hips, maybe even pushing your hips back a little bit. And then let's make sure that we walk over to the other side here as well. Reaching over to the left, feeling the stretch on the right side of the body. Good, and let's come on up and do a few flows with this. So when we inhale, we're going to come through, lift our heart, lift our tailbone. Exhale, press back, and take the navel in. So pull on the hands, inhale, draw yourself forward, and exhale, push on the hands. Nice, do that one more time. Inhale and pull. Look forward a little bit. Exhale, the chin comes in and the navel comes in. Now, let's go ahead, come back on up and stay at that tabletop position. We'll do some opposite. So extend your right leg back behind you. You could keep it on the floor or pick it up. Now, the other option is to extend the left arm as well. Opposites here, and when you exhale, you're going to draw your navel up and in, your knee towards your elbow. Okay, press the floor away. Inhale, go end to end. Exhale, draw up and in. All right, so if you wanted this really gentle, you could stay on the floor like so and just kind of move this in and crunch. Or you could do just the leg part. So we're still moving like so. Good. Let's make this the last one. Inhale to extend long and put that down. Now let's just kind of make sure that you're feeling stable before you move on. We're going to take that left foot back, maybe up in the air. The right hand reaches out. And when we exhale, drawing things under, elbow to knee, inhale, reach out long, press the floor away, exhale. Nice. Again, my option would be to stay closer to the floor and use only one limb. Let's do one more here. Reaching on out. Exhale, draw in. Last one, reach out. And exhale, let's put that back down. From here, if you need extra padding on the knees because we've been on it for a while, I'm going to show it, just so that you know you have that option. Go ahead and put that under you because we're going to lunge our right foot forward into a nice lunge. But if this is feeling tight, we're going to flow it. So I want you to go ahead and push back. Feel the stretch on the hamstrings and then come forward. All right. So we're going to inhale to press back. Go ahead, draw those toes back. And exhale, come on forward. A few times through, and notice that things do warm up, at least a little bit, right? Okay, and then let's go ahead and hold that lunge, hold that nice lunge. You might bring your hands inside. You might have a block if that's not reachable, okay? Now, some people might also like to take those toes and knees out a little bit to the side. And if you're feeling tight already, don't worry about all the add-ons. I'm going to give options for all people. Okay. Let's put our hands back down and come back to all fours. And for a moment, I want you to stay where you're at. I want you to come forward with your body and give me a nice plank from the knees. Now, in class, I see a lot of people do plank and they're up here. Well, I'm here to tell you that's no work whatsoever. Here's what I want you to do. Come way far forward. Put your hands under your shoulders. Draw your shoulders back. Now, drop your hips an uncomfortably amount low. All right? Now use your abdominals to draw yourself back up a little bit. That's how you know you're feeling that good middle ground where we want activation in the abdominals to help hold that plank nice and long. Nice. Okay, draw in and up. If your wrists really don't love this, you can always go to fists as well. Okay, strong in the shoulders. Ooh, we are lighting a match. Okay, let's come on back. Nice. Give the wrists some love if they need it. But we're going to move on to the other side, lunging the left foot forward. And then we're going to flow that too. So we'll inhale, push back, bring those toes back. Exhale, come forward. Beautiful. Inhale back. We go through things, 3 to 5 times. I like to fit in at least 5 for things that we flow. Okay. Flowing is really great for warming. It's also good for just working around places that you're tight. Okay. Instead of holding it. Now, that said, let's hold the lunge. Okay, you can stay in here. You could stay up here if that worked for you. I am the guy with options. Block, maybe that knee and toe walk out a little bit, resting that back leg. All right. Letting the weight of your hips open those muscle fibers a little bit more. Okay. So let's go ahead and bring ourselves back to all fours here. Take the block away. And I would like to do just a couple lower series from here as well. So we're going to inhale. You start out at that nice plank. Now remember how it felt when you're in your beautiful plank. And exhale, I want you to draw bend your elbows 1 or 2 inches. Okay? Then put your hips down and your belly down. And you're going to lift yourself into, this is called a baby cobra. So you draw your shoulders back. Keep your elbows into the body. Don't let your head bow. Keep your gaze, looking a little bit ahead. And then you're going to finish with a child's pose. So you got to use some strength and press yourself on back. Okay, let's try that with a flow. Inhale forward, find your plank. Keep the arms in the body. Exhale, come on down a little bit. Inhale, rest, and come through to that cobra. Bring your navel up to come back into child's. Go again. Inhale forward to a plank. Abs on. Exhale, bend any amount. Okay. Inhale, set on the floor, shoulders back. And exhale back through child's pose. We better do that one more time just because we probably just got the knack of it. Inhale forward. Exhale, bend a little bit. Inhale, bend more so that you can set down and come through for that cobra. And exhale back through child's pose again. And that's our last one. We're going to move up onto the feet. So go ahead if you like to lunge one foot forward and use any method you need to get to the top of the mat. And give yourself a little bit of a sway here. Bend your knees. Good. All right. And then we're going to come up. So come up safely by putting your hands on your hips, bending your knees, lift your heart, and come all the way up. All right. And then find your good Tadasana. So a Tadasana is called mountain pose. You want to press down to lift up. And, if these arms are going all over, it means you're not really fully present. You're not right here. So let's have the arms at attention. Draw the navel in. All right. Keep some activity through the whole spine and lift up through that crown. Nice. So I am going to make a little turn here. Inhale, come on up with those arms. And let's exhale. Put your right arm down. Now, inhale and reach those fingertips far away from one another. And exhale. Use this as a brace and come over the top. All right, now take one more breath. Inhale, you're only reaching as far as you feel comfortable doing so. Exhale, reach further. Okay, good. Let's change arms, and the fingertips again go as far apart from each other as you can get them. Use that, brace. Come on up and over. And then we better take another breath while we're here. Inhale, open those side ribs. Exhale, reach on over. All right, something different. Inhale, come on up. What I want you to do is we're going to take a little bit of a sit, and you're going to twist to the right. All right? So we sit and we twist. Now, as you inhale, draw your hands forward and stand up. And as you exhale, go ahead and sit and twist to the left side. All right, it's a flow. So inhale. You don't have to sit super deep. Exhale, swing open. And you're just sweeping everything back on, up through the middle. Okay. Exhale, come on down. Let's do another round. Nice warm up. Inhale. Exhale here. Beautiful. One more. Always going for equal rounds, guys. Exhale. And then we'll finish arms up and return to your mountain pose. All right. Again, add attention. And then we're going to do a couple rounds of what I call a chair salute. So, inhale here. We'll keep it gentle. And what you do is you exhale and you reach towards the floor. All right. For people who, find it okay, you could go deeper. Then you're going to inhale into chair. Exhale and deepen. Inhale and stand up tall. And exhale, find that mountain again. We'll do that several times. Inhale. All right, so you choose how far do you want to go. You're going to reach towards the floor or sweep down. Then inhale, you kind of lock those legs where they are. Exhale, deepen, navel in. Inhale, press, so you're really firing up those legs. If we have knee issues, we're going to, not do so much bend. Inhale, let's go again. Exhale and reach. All right, sweep if you want. Inhale, up to chair. Exhale. Inhale, stand up. And exhale, Tadasana. Let's add on to that. Inhale here. Let's do the side bends. Adam, what we just did a minute ago. Inhale on up. And exhale, side bend. And we'll do different. Inhale, come up. Exhale, now bend your knees, arms wide, come down into any forward fold. Now, a forward fold could be with legs bent and your body on your legs, okay? Or you can let yourself go, start tipping a little bit more, and really come forward and feel the weights in the fronts of your feet, okay? All right. Put your hands on your shins and inhale, press out to a halfway lift. Now look at this. My arms are as straight as they can be. I'm pressed far forward. That also brings my back into that nice long line. Okay? Draw your shoulders back. Try not to go for the hunch. All right, if you need to, keep bent knees. All right, press, press. And then exhale, forward fold. Take your hands up the backs of your legs like so. Inhale, rise, and exhale, mountain pose. Let's keep doing 2 more rounds of that. Inhale, come on up, and we're going to exhale, go over side bend to the right. Good. Inhale, use your brace. Exhale over. Inhale, come up nice and tall. And exhale, give me a big dive. Come on down, forward fold. Put your hands on your shins. Inhale and really snap back to that long line position. Exhale, melt into forward fold. Let the hands glide up the legs again. And exhale. We'll take 1 more round. Inhale. We start with the side bends. Exhale, go over the top. Good. Inhale. And exhale over the top. Good. Up tall and then exhale. Come all the way down. As much knee bend as you need. Hands at shins. Inhale to halfway lift. Nice. Navel in. Exhale, forward fold. Maybe deeper each time. Inhale, smooth hands up the legs. And exhale, Tadasana. All right. I think we're ready and warm for a few standing poses. Okay, when we think about beginning to do our standing poses, I want you to imagine 2 lanes on your mat. There's a line down the middle, okay? And so we want to keep our feet on those 2 lanes for the most part, for what we're doing today especially. Okay, we're going to start with the crescent lunge. You'll step your left foot straight back, any amount, and the thing with crescent is that the heel stays off the mat. All right, so you can step back as far as feels gentle for you. You're going to stabilize by really pressing into that front foot. Draw your inner thighs towards one another because we're always coming towards center line. And then option with hands here or up and go ahead and settle into that. So any standing pose is also going to be made more difficult, usually by more bending of the leg. Again, that is something you're going to decide for yourself. But remember, we're not going to generate heat in a gentle class. We absolutely are. But we're going to approach it, very, very carefully. So if you also need to, you don't have to have that heel up. You could just kind of step in and make it stable any way that you need to. All right? Okay. So let's just finish this on up. I talked and made you burn. All right? Let's put your back heel down and open these arms out for a triangle. Now, I want you to look because sometimes when we get here, we've unconsciously put those feet onto a balance beam, 1 track. But I want you to really get to understand this. Keep those feet on 2 tracks for a triangle. It's much safer and more accessible. So, all right, arms wide. Front toe and knee are off the front of the mat. Now I want you to reach forward. The same time you're pulling this right hip back. All right? Now options for triangle are to put your hand at your thigh. We're going to go up. Or to come down to your shin. Or if you have your block, you can go there as well. But keep in mind that block might be more difficult. Ironically, in this pose, because sometimes the block is lower than one of these options, okay? If you have your hand on your shin, make sure you're not pressing your knee out of whack, all right? Draw that left hip forward, open your right shoulder up, and you can fix your eye gaze wherever you're comfortable. So it could be straight on, or down, or up, all right? But let's not have that head down here. Make sure you're taking that upper ear and drawing it towards your shoulder at least a little bit. All right, no cranking, just a little bit of awareness. All right, and you're drawing up through the electricity of your inseams. Okay, and again, here we were for a long time. Okay, let's use good strength and come on up. Put your hands on your hips. I'm going to belabor the stance on all of this stuff because it matters. We're going to go to pyramid. So that was triangle, and this is pyramid. Similar name. You're going to take your hips completely face front. Okay? So they're square in both directions there. And what happened, I really, really need to keep my feet on 2 lanes, 2 skis now. So the feet can either turn a little bit in or stay out and back if you need to. The one in front stays going pretty straight off the front. So again, realign your hips. You're going to have to draw that back one forward. And let's just start here by inhale, lift your heart, and exhale, lean forward a little bit and test your balance. Okay, so every time you inhale, press into that front foot and come on up. Okay, exhale, come forward. Good. So you're using some back strength, some glute strength. You're probably always also feeling that you're testing your balance. Yeah? Good. Press up. And then let's go ahead and do just one more. All right. And then stay up. And we're going to pivot to be wide. So however you can be and still see me. Wide feet, that's, again, going to be different for each person. You want your feet a little bit parallel. Maybe the toes turn out a little bit today for what we got planned. So I'd like to inhale here, lift your heart, and a few times exhale. Let's just go run the hands down the legs and come into forward fold. Now, bend your knees, pick up your heart, and run them back on up. Now let's do this a couple times. Exhale. You can start bending the knees if you need to come down. Inhale, knees are bent. Lift your heart first, okay? Try to take that roundness out of the back. Exhale here. Good. All right. Inhale again. The hands are running up the sides of the legs. Let's stay up on this one and have the arms come out. So again, take the toes out a little bit. Let's take your right toes especially out a little bit more to that 45-degree angle. So inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, come over the top and reach towards the right. Now inhale wide again. And what you're going to do is you're going to exhale, you're going to bend that leg and just give a little windmill, kind of give it a chop across. Inhale here. Okay, exhale over the top. Nice. Inhale wide. Exhale, a little windmill there. You're pivoting the whole body, twisting. Exhale. Let's do one more. Inhale here. Good, and exhale. And come back on up. And exhale, hands to the hips. We're going to move on to do the other side completely. We're going to move on and do a balance pose. So carefully, maybe heel toe in, get in, and let's do a basic tree pose today. Tree pose, start to put all of your weight into the right foot, right? Make the left really light. So the more weight you come in here, you grow your roots down. Send your branches up, and you'll find that this eventually with practice becomes literally like extra limbs that you don't even need. Okay? Option 1, if this is new to you, keep the foot on the floor, and we're always going to turn that leg out. Okay? Strong in the navel, strong in the glutes. Press down, lift up. Option 2 would be to put the hand at the calf. All right? Hands can be at heart center. So also, if you want to try this version, you could also put a hand on something. But just to, to get into a better practice, I would prefer, that you just use the kickstand, and got used to that in small increments as you build up strength. Now, in a tree pose, again, be tall. You can do anything with the arms that helps. Sometimes the T helps people to balance, or reaching on up, really growing to the sun here. Nice. Oh my gosh, yes. Let's go ahead and let that go. All right. We're going to begin the standing stuff for the other side. So whichever direction works for you. And we're going to this time step back with step the right foot back. So again, did you lose your 2 lanes? Find them. B2 skis, okay? Back heel up if you can. Bending knee over front foot here, and then choosing your options. Stabilize, draw those inner thighs towards one another. Come on up. Reach up. And when you reach up, don't let the shoulders come out of their sockets. You want to have, this nice long line, but we still have nice shoulders in their sockets. Let them ground in. Good. You can put that back heel down if you need to, and you're going to start to feel a little bit of heat. Again, always want to do that. We've got to move our body and prompt it to keep healthy. Okay, let's go ahead, put the hands back down. Put your back heel down, and notice, did you move away from the 2 lanes? If so, back on 2 lanes. Wide for triangle. Now, reach left arm out front. This left hip comes back. Where do you want to be? Do you want to be on the thigh, on the shin, or that block? Okay. All of these are open to you. And this top hand, I'm doing kind of classic triangle. As you practice, you'll get more comfortable knowing what the options are. For this, you could also, this is not necessarily gentle, this is more work. But if your shoulder needed less strain, you could just drop that hand behind you too. Okay? But this is classic triangle. Inseams of the legs, very active. Good. Shine up. Eye gaze stays in one place. All right, let's be strong. So we come on up, hands to hips. And remember, for pyramid, I want that pivot completely. So you saw I moved that back foot because I could tell that it needed to move as I go square and square. All right? And let's just keep our hands at the hips while we inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, brace yourself. This takes, more inhale, lift, more different kinds of strength and coordination than you think once you get into it, right? Exhale forward. Now, if you had low back issues, you would be taking this really small, maybe go smaller than I'm going, all right? We're already not going too far down. Let's go ahead and have one more, and you're going with the breath. One more, all right? Inhale, come straight forward out of those hips. And then back on up. Beautiful. And then we're going to pivot again and come back to our wide-legged position so that we can do that flow on the other side. So as wide as you like, make sure those feet aren't slipping. This time we're going to take those left toes maybe a little bit out like that, 45 degrees. All right. Go wide and over the top, over to the left. Inhale wide here. And then exhale, you're going to bend that left leg while you sort of twist into that windmill. All right, inhale, come on up. Exhale over the top. Inhale wide. And go. We'll do this 4 times. Inhale on up. Good, go straight over the top there. Really reach. We warmed that up in the beginning. Good. Maybe you bend into that lunge a little bit more as you warm up. This will be the last one. Good. Good and wide. And exhale. All right. Let's hold wide. And then we're going to come back in again. So maybe heel toe, step in, so that we can do that other tree pose. This time, we're going to ground into the left. So ground completely down into that left. Draw strength up from the ground. Foot can stay on the ground as a little bit of a kickstand, but let's turn that knee and hip out. And then if you're feeling like you want to progress up to the calf, go ahead. All right. And then arms are wherever it's going to help you, touching something if you need. All right. Roots grow down, branches grow up and out. Find your stillness. Sometimes, you realize it takes all that you have to maintain a balance. That's presence. All right, let's go ahead. Bring the knee forward and come on down. Beautiful. You have made it through all of our standing poses. So let's go ahead and prepare to come to the floor. Maybe you'd like to be a tall mountain again and come all the way back down. And then come back down to all fours. All right, I'd like to come to seated for a moment. And for this, I don't want you to sit on a blanket. We're going to do scales. And essentially what this is you're going to lift your bum off the floor. Sounds easy, right? Let's try it out. So I want you to do two things. Really fortify the strength of your shoulders. Kind of get ready. All right. Take your navel then in and up. So you could press through the hands like so, or, I kind of like to actually make a fist like so. So let's just take an inhale. And as you exhale, strong shoulders, in and up, lift your seat off the floor. Okay? And do that again. Inhale, put it down. Exhale, be strong. Navel in and up, strong shoulders. Okay. We'll do it one more time. Inhale here. Exhale, press through and up. And now this one, hold. See if you can hold for an extra beat or two or three. All right. In and up, strong shoulders. And I'm also coming a little forward. All right. In and up, in and up. Woo. All right. And put that down. So how much work is it just to hold yourself away from the floor? Well, we're going to do some more of that. Move on to all fours to begin with. Hands right under your shoulders. And let's begin by extending your left leg all the way back behind you. Now, make sure that your right hand is right under your right shoulder. And what you're going to do is you're going to open onto your side like so for a big, nice side a side plank modified by being on the knee. And this is a great practice here. Lift away from the floor. Make sure that ear is coming up. If you want, the arm can come overhead. These are just ways of making more challenge if you like it. And that leg could come up as well. But again, keeping things in the gentle realm, you can see there's all these options for you, no matter what your body needs. Okay? So let's take one more breath here. Good. And then let's go ahead back to that tabletop, and we're going to lower ourselves onto the floor for a little bit of a flow for our locust. So extend your legs nice and back behind you. And you're going to start with your hands at your low back. Now, if you have low back issues, you're going to take this really, really lightly, or just come up and, do a plank or just rest. Okay. So what you're going to do is you come around, you salute with your right hand, come around as you lift your left foot. And then as you exhale, bring these back and look away from the salute. Okay, let's bring the left hand around to salute and lift the right hand. And when you bring it back, you look away from the salute and rest. Good, a few more times. Inhale, right hand and left foot, or maybe just the hand. Okay, exhale, look away. Drawing the navel up. Inhale, left hand, right foot. Exhale, bringing those hands back to the low back each time. I think we better do another round. That was only 2 rounds. Inhale, salute right. Exhale, look away from that salute. Good. Last one. Inhale, let's salute left. And exhale, look away again. All right. Let's bring ourselves actually back up to all fours. And just to make sure that our back feels good, give a couple cat stretches. Inhale, exhale. From your hands and knees. All right. All right. And then we're ready to do the other side plank. So this time, you'll see the back side of me. I want you to extend your right leg back. Make sure your left hand is right under that shoulder. And then you're going to turn onto the side again. And here you have all your options. Notice the placement of that bottom foot may be different for each one. Hand up, hand long, leg lift. And all of this too, if your knee is saying, oh my gosh, I need a little bit of cushion, you're going to add that cushion. Some of us at home might be practicing carpet, maybe not a big deal. Good. Take another breath here. Don't forget to stay present with the breath. And then with care and strength, bring yourself back on in. All right. I want to do just one more thing. Maybe use a blanket here for a sec. And this is a thunderbolt twist. So you start with your hands at your low back again. And you inhale. Let me show you the most basic, the most gentle. And then you exhale, you bring them back to the low back, and you just come forward any amount. Okay? So if you want to progress it, you could also come down all the way, like so. Okay? Head to the mat. And if you wanted to do a twist, it goes like this. Inhale up. And you exhale, you hold your right wrist, and you look to the right, go down as far as you like. Inhale up. Then we exhale, I hold left, and I'm going to look to the left. So it's not that big of a twist, more about happening through the neck more than anything. Hold right, look right. Good. Inhale up. Hold left, exhale, and look left. Nice. And rise. Now let's go ahead and just come onto your seat and swing the legs back around. Time to go onto our backs. So lie on back, and we're going to do just a lying pigeon today and work into the flexibility of our hip area. So go ahead and lie comfortably with feet flat, and then you're going to take your right ankle and cross it over your left knee. Now for some people that's going to feel tight enough, and you could practice right here, flexing your foot and encouraging that knee to push away any amount, all right? And if that feels good, you might choose to progress by threading the needle through, holding onto that thigh, and then drawing that knee in towards you. Now this whole time, remember, remind yourself in your practice that, especially these poses at the end of class, where we get into them and feel very tight, allow yourself the time to warm up and go deeper. Because the position you take with your first breath will not be the same as the last you take in the pose, right? So as I get warmer, I find that, it feels better to maybe come in with this knee a little bit more, feel this opening some more. Give yourself that time, all right? And in these poses, we're also holding them for longer, sometimes called, it's that principle used in yin yoga, where you're really allowing time for connective tissue to release a little bit. And those ligaments, tendons, things like that, they take longer to warm up than your muscle fibers. All right, so we give it time. Working on flexibility. All right, let's do this for a moment. Go ahead and put your foot down, but keep the cross. And then your arms are out to the side like a T. Shift your hips a tad right, and then just let your hips fall over to the left. Okay. If you like, you can look over to the right. So it's just a moment in a twist here. If this is too tight, just go ahead and let them come apart and lay to the side any amount. If this causes any bad sensations in your low back, you really might choose that. And then you also think about kind of pushing the top hip away and the bottom hip more under you. Another thing you could do is this hand could just kind of stay on your body. All right, let's go ahead and return to center. Recenter everything. Hips, arms, and then we're going to cross the left ankle over the right knee. Okay? Encourage this to come a little bit wide. Notice now, again, how you're showing up in the body. Know that this will warm, and maybe after a few breaths, you feel like you want to draw in, thread the needle, draw this knee in. And there's nothing wrong with feeling a little bit of discomfort. Remember, well, it's true for all exercise that we endure a little bit of discomfort in order to get someplace beneficial, right? Because we need to prompt the body to react. Now, the amount of discomfort will vary, but one thing is for sure, that discomfort should not translate into pain. If we are feeling pain someplace, we have gone too far, and obviously you're going to risk injury. So don't do that. There's no need. Progress in time. Good. One more breath here. Now let's maintain the cross as I put this down. Again, support yourself with wide T-like arms, and then shift your hips a little left and let the legs fall over to the right. So remember what we did last time. If this is too extreme feeling, just go ahead, let the legs fall in anyway. Hand could come to your body. but you could look away as well if you felt like it. One other thing you could do is, getting to know and love your props. If you wanted to fall onto a prop like that and not struggle, yeah, you absolutely could. Because the touching of the ground really doesn't matter. It's just about this lovely long body having a twist. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead, uncross, and come back to the center. And then hug yourself into a little ball. Maybe give yourself, it's a nice time for a little back massage. Okay. Do a few rotations and then come back the other way. And then tuck in and give me a simple rock up. We're going to do a little fold here. I'm going to encourage you to use your blanket and sit up. So when you use a blanket, sit up on it and sit towards the edge. You'll notice that it kind of brings you up on top of those sit bones and keeps you nice and tall. And we're going to do a variation of a tortoise pose. So tortoise, we kind of come into our shell. So right here, keep your feet a little bit wide and come inside. Now, real basic way to do this while you're working on flexibility is to just hold the feet or even, kind of like so, and just work yourself a little bit more into the shell as you go. The thing about tortoise too is that the legs stay hugging the arms. All right. So for those who have a little bit more openness, we could progress this a little bit. You might keep the feet flat and take your hands, spider creep, find the top of your foot, around on both sides. And again, the legs are pressing in, and this helps you sort of draw in. So this can feel like a really tense place. I want you to make sure you're coming back to your yogic breath, your smooth one-to-one inhale and exhale. And in something like this, an extra component of that breath is at the end of your exhale, draw your navel in and just feel that space. Nice. Inhale, feel ease. Exhale, just relax into space. Take one more nice deep inhale here in the pose. And exhale, retreat into the shell one last time. And then we'll creep back up on out of that. And we're going to do our last pose, lying back again. So let's come on off of that. And I want to use a strap today. We're just going to loop it around one leg, and I'll show you some things about that. If you don't have a strap, you don't need official yoga supplies. Anything can work like a strap. You're just looping it around your leg, right? Anything can serve like a blanket does to lift you off the floor a little bit. And the same for a block. Sometimes even having a chair handy is a good, substitute for a block. All right. That said, there's also a special way that these loop. So if you want to, use this kind of loop, that's handy too. Let's roll back. Roll back, bend your legs, and I want you to loop this around your right foot. Now, the safest is to let it come around the heel, because not everyone's going to love it around the toes and drawing that back. But if it feels okay, that's all right. All right. So just for demonstration, I'm going to keep it on the heel, and I want you to really reach up. Let me tell you one more thing about a strap. We're using the strap so that the leg can be long. So if the leg needs to be long out there, great. And look, I just, hold on to the strap. Second thing, wherever you're at, the work is going to be in your grasp and in your wrist. So try to let that be the only place. So if I'm holding with my arm bent like this, I'm working here unnecessarily. I'm going to just go ahead and reach on out there. So no work. All my work is right here. All right. And I'm just trying to relax that leg in a really long position. All right. So that's a little bit of a 101 on the use of a strap. All right. Let's try to intensify this just a little bit. get a good stretch up here in this place. We're really tight, a lot of us. Let's inhale and kick your heel up nice and high. All right. Now, exhale and draw your nose up towards your knee. Now stay there. Inhale, kick it away again. Now lock that leg in place as you rest your shoulders and head one more time. And maybe you'll find that you got a little bit of extra stretch there. And then let's hold that. All right. Release your other arm, release everything. And again, it really is just about that grip doing most of the work. Smooth breath. If you're not checking out the playlist that I made, I encourage you to do so. They are made to kind of go and towards the end of class here to ramp down a little bit energetically too. Of course, you could put on any music you like. Doesn't matter. All right. So yeah, I'm allowing good time because this is a stretch a lot of us need. Okay. Let's go ahead and undo, and we're just going to do the other side. So we're going to loop. I'm going to put that around my left heel. Okay. Now my left hand is working. And let's make sure that we're doing all the things that I set up before. The strap lets the leg be long, whether it's here or here. In class, I see it all over the place. I do see people right there because, we're not there yet. Or maybe we never will be, and I don't care. Long arm. Work in the wrist. All right? Work in the grasp. And you could use, if you needed to, if this grasp was feeling, like it needed help, you could use two. All right, let's inhale, kick high in the heel. Exhale, draw your nose to your knee. Okay. Now, when you're here, kick high one more time. Now, freeze that leg where it is and relax your upper body. All right, notice and see if you can breathe into more depth as you go. And then just maybe rest your arm. It can rest at the side or on your belly. And breathe. The other leg should stay comfortable. Although I will say, as you progress, some people may like to lengthen it. But this is a good beginner, a gentler place. Smooth, steady breath. Lengthening that leg. Allowing the leg to sort of relax into that length. Take your last deep inhale in the pose. And a deeper exhale. And then let's just go ahead and come on out. And we're going to get ready for our Shavasana. And as we start, I actually would like you to take a little bit of an inner thigh stretch. Put your soles of your feet together and just let the knees fall wide. Okay. You might put your hands as a little assist on the inner thighs, and begin your Shavasana, or your relaxation from this place. Now, if this makes your low back feel a little stressed, you can just go ahead and come to your Shavasana place or your constructive rest place. Otherwise, here we are, feet together in butterfly and the knees wide. And in Shavasana, we typically would either put the arms a little away from the body to allow air to circulate and the palms up. Or if you like to, you can always have, the hands can rest at the belly and just stay in touch with the rhythm of your breath. But I want to encourage you to close your eyes for a moment and close the circle of your practice. And I'd like to revisit where we began by asking you to notice what's going on in your body. Now, recall in the beginning that I asked you to notice the state of your body, whether you were feeling dull or, a lot of nervous energy, anything like that. And knowing that you could use your practice to change it, How do you feel now in your physical body? Whatever you find, do not judge it. And then step into the space of your breath body or your energy body and notice what the state of your breath is and what the state of your self awareness is energetically. And once again, compare that to the state that you began with. Smoothing out your breath here in Shavasana, making everything very effortless and deep. And lastly, stepping into the space of your mental body, noticing how or if the state of your mind has been changed by your practice. I'm knowing and beginning to understand that these three bodies are always interrelated. So when we alter the flow of our breath, we affect the state of our body and our mind. And the same could be said for each of the other bodies as well. They all affect the others. So lying with your knees wide, let's come to a standard Shavasana place if you're still there. Lengthen the legs, lie with the body extended normally. Or you can lie with your knees bent, with the feet wide and the knees tip in, which is, some people like that better for their low back. But continue to relax. And again, just be a watcher of what's going on in your body. I'm going to spend a few minutes in Shavasana. I'd like you to just spend some time in quiet, not grasping onto anything, but again, just being an observer of your body, energy and breath, and mind. Staying relaxed for the latter part of our Shavasana, our relaxation, I'd like to draw your attention to your breath once more. And be effortless, calling your attention to what we would call the Soham mantra. Notice and hear your breath moving in and out. And on the inhale, hear the syllable so. Inhale as the breath comes in, so. Then hear and experience on the exhale, hum. Inhale, so. Exhale, hum. And try not to force it, instead, really listening for that quality. So hum with each cycle of breath. And this is a lovely, very old mantra that is very accessible to us because it is the mantra that the body makes as we breathe. And when we hear it, we are again just anchored peacefully in the present. Noticing how quietly the so hum is produced inside as we breathe. And the words so hum have a meaning as well. In Sanskrit, it means I am that. So let the mantra connect you with any source of strength that lies beyond yourself. I am that. Now going beyond the body, the breath, the mind, to something more essential. Inhale so, exhale hum. As you begin to come out of your Shavasana, please do keep all of your sense of peace and relaxation. But taking a little bit deeper breath now and moving through the wrists and fingers, the ankles and feet. And when you're ready, if it feels okay, bring your right arm overhead and turn onto your right side with your knees bent. Stay there for a couple of breaths before you come up to have a seat once more. And then find your seat. Be steady, and we'll close our practice together. I'll invite you to take Anjali Mudra, hands pressed together, and the thumbs touch at the heart center. And we close our practice by bowing our chin into our chest. Pausing here, it's the briefest of moments to take to acknowledge anything or anyone that gives you strength, and to have thanks, a moment of gratitude for those sources. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me today. Do things multiple times, all right? That's how we get into those spaces that feel like they need work. It's how we become more familiar with things. And if you don't follow me already on Instagram and Facebook, I post a lot of tips from time to time, both about practicing and about the physicality. So you might find something useful there. Also, dig back into the archive. There's a lot of other gentle classes there on my website as well. All right, bluelotusmn.com. See you next time.